Hi everyone, my name's Tierra, and on this channel I do speed builds in The Sim 4 if this is your first time seeing one of my videos. In today's speed build I am creating a small castle built for a princess. I didn't look at any reference pictures of any castles for this build, so the actual design of it is very rudimentary. I didn't have any particular style or era in mind or anything like that. It's just a very childlike idea of what castles are designed like, I guess. I really wanted to create a kind of tower because I've never done that in any of my builds before, and I also wanted to make use of those like pointed ornament things for the roof. I did have some, I had some trouble putting some of the ornaments there on the roof. I don't know why, but it wasn't clipping to the part where it was supposed to go to for some reason. And I couldn't figure out exactly how to fix it. So on one part of the roof, the ornament's kind of sticking out a little bit farther than it should. But I feel like it's such a small detail and we don't actually play the game with the roof on anyway, or like you can't see inside the house if the roof is up anyway, so I figure it doesn't really matter. And then I wanted to create a kind of moat around the castle, but I did build this on a smaller lot. I believe it's only a 30 by 20. And so that's part of the reason why I designed it as a smaller castle, because I didn't want to create a huge, elaborate type of castle. One, because I don't really like building really big houses or anything, because I feel like it takes me forever to furnish the inside especially. And then I didn't really know exactly how I was going to go about designing a bigger castle, so I wanted to keep it small and simple and just kind of have fun with it and experiment a little, because I am not a professional or anything like that, but I do try to create things that are very different from other houses I've built already, and just to give more variety, not only for people watching, but also because I want to just have I just want to be able to experiment with different styles, since there are so many different styled like building options and furniture pieces and things like that. I don't want to just use the same stuff over and over again. So I wanted to try to build a castle today because I also really wanted to use the like fancier, the like statues and the backyard items and things like that, because I never really used those before. And you'll see here I actually found this bridge from the debug menu, and I wanted to see if I could make it actually work like as a real bridge, but I did have a hard time with it because I had to size it down a lot just to get it to fit the way I wanted it. But then it also disappeared. I don't really know why or anything, but at the same time I wasn't mad because I feel like it looked kind of stupid anyway. So I ended up having to just extend the foundation from the different pieces that the bridge was connecting. I just had to extend it, but the kind of pond moat thing that I create to go underneath the bridge, I had to delete the part where I extended the foundation because it wouldn't go over the water, which I don't really understand why, because I mean, if I had used the stilted foundation, I think it could have worked, but at the same time when I tried to put the stilted foundation, I don't know, it wasn't really working the way I thought it would. So I'm gonna try to figure that out and see if maybe I can try to create a like bridge over like a moat or something again in another video, maybe, if I can figure out how to do it. But I also really wanted to play with the vines and the flowers like growing up the side of the wall, because I really like that in one of, I think I used them in maybe one or two of my past videos, but I didn't use them that much. It was just like a little bit here and there, and I really love the look of that, and having it on a castle, so I thought I would try that today. And I really love the way this turns out actually. And then you'll see me start to create the moat pond thing. I did this in my last video too. After I created the water area, I go around and I put rocks and like weeds and things like that to try to make it look not so sharp and so angular, I guess is the word. I hate that we can't just make more natural looking water formations in this game. Like, you know, if you want a regular small real looking pond, you just have to get the one that's already made in the items. I think it's like in the outdoor, if you have the expansion it comes with, I don't know. But it was only in this video that I realized you could change the flooring and the wallpaper underneath the pond. I didn't do it in my last video because I didn't even go underneath the water to see if it was possible. But so you'll see that I actually put a sand texture in the pond in this one, and I just put like a stone wallpaper to try to make it look like it was, you know, like I guess rocks made up the walls. But yeah, and then I put like water lilies and things like that. And then when I go to the backyard, I think I actually did almost all of the landscaping on this house before I went inside to do the floor plan and everything. And which could have been a mistake, because once I actually go in to try to make the floor plan, I had a hard time situating the staircases because I didn't want to move the house. Like, I didn't want to extend it or anything like that because I already created all of the backyard stuff and I didn't want to have to move everything to extend the house. So oh, and I found these mushrooms. Looking at it now, I don't remember exactly which menu I found it in, but when I saw those mushrooms, that's actually part of the reason I wanted to do a princess castle, because I felt like those mushrooms would be perfect in the yard for some reason, you know, kind of like fairy tale type. And so I wanted to use those mushrooms in the landscaping for this yard, and I just kind of put them there with a bunch of bushes and flowers and everything. And yeah, so after I put everything down in the backyard, I didn't want to have to adjust the like back porch or anything like that, and I didn't want to move everything to make space for the staircases inside. So, and the part of the reason why it was so tricky though is because I actually make a basement for this house, and at first I thought about trying to create some kind of dungeon type thing in the basement, but what I ended up doing is actually making it more of a kind of like a, I don't know, like a guilty pleasures type of basement, like where the rest of the house looks more formal and you know, proper for a princess or whatever. Downstairs she has a bar and then the big screen TV and everything, and then I also put the laundry stuff downstairs too, because I figure it would just be better out of the way and out of sight, so that when people come into the house they don't actually see it unless they go downstairs. So but yeah, so I was trying to situate the staircases, and I ended up having to put the bathroom in the space between the staircases because I feel like it was the only thing that made sense to go in that area. And then also, since it is a 3-level home and there's only one bathroom, I wanted to make the bathroom on the middle level because that way it's easier to get to the bathroom no matter what floor she's on. So like always, I usually start with the kitchen when I start furnishing the inside of the home, but while I'm trying to decide on the color scheme and everything like that, I do put up the wallpaper and stuff first. So I did that, and then I didn't want the kitchen to be super updated or anything like that, but at the same time I didn't want it to look ugly or old. So I just chose like the fancier looking countertops and everything, and I only put some of the top cabinets, I guess. I don't know what they're called. Are they just called top cabinets? I don't know. I never actually paid attention. But yeah, I just put some there, and then I wanted to make sure you could see the pans and the other utensils and everything, so it still has a somewhat old-fashioned look to it. And I kept having to size down the curtains because I wanted to use the fancier looking curtains, but I didn't want them to like be in the way of the cabinets and everything. So for the windows, like in the kitchen area, I had to size down the curtains so that they didn't look super huge and in the way of all the cabinets and the surfaces. But then for the dining room, I wanted to keep it a kind of neutral color scheme. Like I honestly didn't really want everything to just be white and gold. So I have like some very slight tones of like a light blue and then like cream colors and things like that. So it's very light toned, I think, all throughout the kitchen and dining room. And then I carried that onto the like study area. Oh, and before I forget, in the bathroom, you'll notice that I have the toilet in the middle of the bathroom, but oh, I did play test this house. I don't usually, but I figured I should probably do it for this one just in case, because there are some areas that are pretty tight between the furniture and I just wanted to make sure that it all worked. But the toilet was actually too close to the tub in order for the sim to use the tub. So I didn't realize that they got in the tub on the left side, and so I had to use the Alt key and move the toilet slightly to the left in order to get enough space between the toilet and the tub for the sim to take a bath. So sorry I didn't fix that before I upload it to my gallery. So if you do download the house, you just have to go in and make that adjustment. It probably would have worked if I had just put the toilet on the other side of the bathroom and like switch the door to the other side and switch the sink, just switch those around. But yeah, I didn't realize that until after I was already play testing it after I saved it. So yeah, that's like the only little hiccup here. And you'll see I put it in the part like where the tower is. I made that the little study area because it actually wasn't a very big space, which I didn't consider or think about when I was actually building the outside of the house, because I just wanted to, just put the shape down and then put the roof on and whatever. And I thought that there would be like more space for some reason. So I didn't want to try to extend the walls or anything, since I already did all of the landscaping outside and I already put up all the vines and things like that. But I think if I do try to make another castle in the near future, I'm going to try to make the like tower part room or whatever. I think I'll try to make it bigger and just try to figure out the roof. I know that that'll probably be the hardest part for me, but I'm gonna try to do that to make it a little bit bigger, because I could barely fit the bookcase and the 2 couches in there. So, and it looks a little bit squished. So I think next time I'll just try to make it bigger and make better use out of the space. But everything else worked. And actually I'm going to include some video clips of a princess that I created for this house, and it'll just show her just kind of using the things around the house. And yeah, I have those clips right before the screenshots at the end of this video. So also you'll see that I put those martini glasses on the bar area, and then I also put once I get up to the top floor, I also put some coffee mugs on the like seating area, because I put like a little tea table inside the skill building room, I guess you could call it. I put like a easel and a piano and everything, and then I have a little seating area for them to have tea at. And so I put some coffee mugs there just to show that that's what that space is used for. But when I was playtesting this house, those coffee cups and the martini glasses downstairs did go bad, so your sim will have to clean those up. And actually I usually try not to put things like that in the builds that I do, because I know that they are going to go bad eventually once you start playing the game. But at the same time, I think it's nice just to show, especially for those screenshots, like what the space is kind of used for or whatever. But yeah, so you'll see me, I'm putting those decorations there on the table. And then I had a hard time figuring out exactly what to put in this space other than those skill building things, because I wanted to put some decorations, but I didn't want to just put the same stuff over and over again. So I tried to use more of those fancier looking like trimmed plants and everything like that, and some statues. And at one point I go in, I think it's like near the end, I try to put something in that space that's between the staircase and her bedroom door, but I end up not doing anything to that space. I mean, it's like just this empty corner, and I feel like anything I put there just didn't make sense, so I ended up leaving that space blank, but I think it's okay. And then her bedroom is probably one of my favorite places in this whole house, because in that little tower room part, I put her like vanity, and I put all those like hanging Christmas lights, or like fairy lights, or whatever you want to call them. And I just think it looks so cute, and I love, like, I feel like that would be how my area would look if I had a place like this. So yeah, but I had to resize the lights to try to make it fit into the spaces, because they're, you know, they're supposed to be bigger to go across the walls, so I had to size them down, and I had to adjust some of them to make it look like it fit into, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, so I had to size them down and move them around a little bit. But yeah, I love the vanity area, and I actually thought about not going for the pink in this room, because I didn't want it just to be all pink and white and gold, but at the same time, I figure I might as well just do it, since this whole floor is kind of like pink and white, and then the middle floor is like all kind of blue and white, and then the bottom floor is like cream and white. So I just went ahead and stuck with that color scheme type of thing. I did put a like light bluish green carpet under her bed instead of using the pink, because I just wanted to be something that was a different color in this room, and I think it works out because it kind of connects her bedroom decor to the bottom floor and stuff. So, and out on her balcony, out of her bedroom, all I put there was the chess table, and I thought about putting like maybe another seating area out there or something, but I don't know. Honestly, I never really know what to put on balconies or anything like that, so I just put that there, and I figure, you know, she has a nice view when she's playing chess, or if she's playing with a friend out there or something like that. And I also didn't want it to look super cluttered and messy, because it looks so nice from the outside, and I just kind of wanted to keep the focus on the fact that it looked nice and pretty. So then after I finished furnishing everything inside the house, I switch it to nighttime to add all the lighting outside. And I didn't want to put too many lights though, because I mean, it's not like I was going to take any screenshots during nighttime or anything like that, so I didn't need to be super lit up. But I also didn't want it to look like ultra modern or anything, you know, having too many lights around the castle. So I just kept it very simple, and I just put some around both the back door and the front door, and I just put some like near the bridge or like the pathways so they can see when they're walking. And then that's when I was kind of adjusting some things upstairs. And I think I just added some last details, some things in the back patio area. I put those knights, those, or what are they called? Those armored, I don't know, those knight statues or whatever. I put those on the back patio. I love that. Oh, and then I added the mailbox, and I think that's about it. So the videos are coming up and the screenshots. Enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Ooh. Sense and Gorge. Subao Gownim. Yadamek.